Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Let me tell you, I respect hip hop. Hip hop saved my life. So I'm driving down on my way to a meeting, and I heard that record for the first time. And I was like, wow. I was feeling a little down. Then I got reminded of the essence of my character. I started in the music business, and nothing can stop me there. I'm in 5 links, and nothing can stop me here. Because we are going where? We are going where? I want you to remember that nothing can stop you. You guys are going to the top. Who's excited? Who's ready to run out of here like never before and make this happen at the highest possible level that you can? Woo! So they asked me to train. And I'm like, man, they know what to do. Y'all know what y'all gotta do. I could leave the stage right now and you'll run out of here and do it. I was ready to leave after the first day. Who was ready to leave after the first day of training? Didn't all of our leadership bring it at this national convention? Give a round of applause to the front row, please. Thank you. You guys inspire me. So what's the name of my training? I want some of that. And so here's the thing, 10 steps to getting what you want out of your business. Is that all right? Number 1, take advantage of the relaunch. We are relaunching this opportunity in such a big way. It's better than when it got started in the beginning. You guys are at the right place at the right time. Number 2, share your story. Share your story. Your story is so powerful. It all starts with you. You are gonna attract who you become in your personal development journey. Work on yourself. You heard John Addison? Give it up for John Addison. Wasn't he awesome? Number 3, avoid user error. We'll talk about that. Number 4, lead by example. Number 5, our biggest opportunity is the opportunity. Opportunity is the number 1 product in our portfolio. Number 6, learn from children. Learn from children. Number 7, push for what you want. Who wants something in this room right now? Who came here on their last dime because you got something that you gotta do and time is of the essence? Number 8, become a superhero. We'll talk about that. Number 9, what's number 9? Draw the line in the sand. And number 10, you better respect it. Let's get into it. So, how many people like that funding website, 5 Links Capital, capital.5links.com? Let me talk about the new vision of the company, the new leadership of the company, and what they bring to the table that we basically never had before is forward vision. It happened a few times. There were a few blips in the past where it happened and I wasn't too sure. So I'm going to be humble enough to share some of the things that I didn't believe in when they entered it in our product portfolio. Is that okay? We started this mission, we started this journey because of a video phone. I thought I was going to sell 1 million video phones. Who remembers video phones? And then here came Skype, Facebook, Google, all of this stuff where you could do it for free. So the vision was broadsided by technology. That's going to happen a lot. Does anybody hail a cab anymore? Probably not. Uber. A cab could be waiting for you right there, and what do? Uber. Technology is going to disrupt everything that we're accustomed to. Is that okay? And when you're on the front side of that, magic happens financially for all of us. Who's here to make some money? So we were on this path. We had voice over IP. That was what got me involved. I thought I was going to sell 1 million video phones. And guess what? They said, we're going to introduce ID Guard. It's like, ID Guard? Why? We're not selling that. And guess what? People started getting their identity stolen. Are you getting this? All of a sudden, I'm getting paid on thousands of ID guards. Are you seeing this? Thank God they didn't listen to me. The second big product rollout I agreed with, it was energy. Who likes the energy opportunity? I loved it. I said, add it, great. 20,000 customers, customer points. Let's get it right. There's a difference between points and customers, yes? 20,000 customer points. It felt like it came overnight. Who remembers when we did Madison Square Garden for the launch of Energy? The front row. It was incredible. Then the third product they added to our product portfolio, and I didn't agree. Health and wellness. I was anti-high five. What? Nah, we don't need that. 25, 26, 28,000 customer points later in wellness, guess who was wrong? So they came out with this business funding product, Capital.5. I said, absolutely, I'm keeping my mouth shut. Dude, that's too complicated for people. No, I'm saying let's see what happens. And within the first 2 hours, Leonard Dupree, where's National Director Leonard Dupree? Where is he? Make some noise somewhere, I can't see you. There you go. He has an auto body shop in Hampton, Virginia, and qualifies for $65,000 in 2 minutes. He just sent me a text. He said, Monday morning, every single one of my neighboring businesses next door to me are committed to entering their information as well. He's already at 65,000. Anybody remember the promotion? What happens when you get to 100,000? And then right now, it's what? Double down, plus he's about to make $3,000 just off the bounties on getting to 100,000 Monday morning. Are you kidding me? We got to take this relaunch serious, yes? The time is what? Now. And I don't want to keep relaunching. I understand that you feel like, man, this is like a vicious cycle. I put people in the business, they're gone. I put people in the business. Well, we were missing some key elements of what Mr. Addison was talking about earlier. Process was one of them. And guess what? Who likes the technology, the interface of capital.5links.com? Isn't it so easy? Imagine your back office, your My5Links app, everything that simple moving forward. Imagine your customers getting an Amazon experience, entering their credit card one time, and whenever they go to your cart, they could just hit ship, order, purchase, whatever, without having to put in their information over again and over again and over again. Are you getting this? Who's ready for the new 5 links? Who's ready for that? We've needed that type of foresight for 5 years. And we finally have it. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen. Say, I'm excited. Let's talk about the story. You're looking at a kid, first generation, Haitian American. Big up to Haiti. Sac passe. Nous là. Nous rive. Woo. All the representatives in the U.S. right now, y'all are feeling the heat. 15 Haitian SVPs and 2 platinum Haitian SVPs. I come from, I'm not going to say the poorest, because poor is a mindset, the most suppressed people in the Western Hemisphere. And because I said yes to this opportunity 8 years ago, the economics of Haiti is going to change. My family came from shacks in Haiti, roofs leaking. And they say, we gotta go to America. We gotta chase the American what? Dream. And that landed them in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York, in the hood, 2-bedroom apartment, 6 of us in 1 room, 3 bunk beds. Anybody know about that type of arithmetic? I'm the oldest. I couldn't even concentrate on sleeping. We had pets that we didn't necessarily want, but we gave them names to get through it. Who knows what I'm talking about? I come from the bottom. She said, started from the bottom, now we here. And I'm telling you, when I share my story first, and people understand who I am, then they're willing to listen. When I started to share my story of, I was a DJ at age 12, had my first car when I was 16. My father walked out when I was 9. Something serious happened in this shift, guys, where it was a familiar feeling, an authority figure leaving us behind. At 9 years old, I became the man of the house. I was protecting my mother. And when I felt that same way in 5 links, guess who I started to protect? All of us. God made me for this. I never had a 9 to 5. What did I say in Baltimore? What? Listen to this. We were shouting, we're going to be all right in Baltimore in September. Then here comes December, the Grammys. Kendrick Lamar, that was prophetic. God talks to me. Nominated for 12 Grammys because of that song that we sang in Baltimore. Walked away with 5 Grammys. What's the name of our company? We gonna be all right. I don't think y'all understand. There's a saying that if you're not willing to die for what you stand for, whew, it wasn't easy paying myself every week. I wore a bulletproof vest to go to work. We counted millions of dollars in cash. Atlanta 2002 All-Star Weekend, we counted, when I started my career in music, it was a crazy experience. I went from 12 years old being a DJ to 18 years old being one of the top concert and promotion businesses in the country. People don't pay with credit cards in 2000 and the 90s. They pay with what? Cash. So I remember, they're like Tupac, these guys, they're trying to. So I was like, we're going to be all right. I stood for what I said. You know what? I'm not going to go get a 9 to 5. So I decided, hey, I'm going to keep on fending for my family. We made it through that. So there was a time when we counted $1.2 million in cash. I counted $1.2 million on the table cash. And when I think about who my partners were in that room, 2 of them have died, and 1 is doing life in prison. Yes, my circle wasn't the best of circles. But we did what we had to do. We were eating off the land. I didn't get a check on Friday. You getting this? This is my story. Some of y'all don't know how deep it goes. So that being said, I'm in college. It turns into my career, close to 20 years, and I get tired. And I felt that void that Tashina was talking about. I was successful. I had paid off a townhouse. I had paid off my Hummer, but I didn't have a family. I didn't want to have a family. You guys know that State Farm commercial? I'm never getting married. Never having kids. Here goes the second kid, right? And I say all that to say that 5 links, when I didn't have to put on a bulletproof vest, when I didn't have to go as hard, when I could make real money, guess what? 5 links made that happen. Five links allowed me to start making more money in residual income within 2 years of getting involved in this opportunity. 2 years, I was making more money than my party and concerts promotions business in residual income that came in whether I got out of bed or not. That's when I went full-time. I hit SVP in the first 10 months, made $155,000 in 10 months on the side. That doubled the second year, doubled the following year, hit platinum at year 3. And just this past December on the 11th, the computer said, click, congratulations, Diamond Senior Vice President. 8 years. 8 years. What we're showing you how to do is take that 30-year mortgage, let's pay it in under 10 years. Is that okay? That 40 years in corporate America, let's make that money in under 10 years. Is that okay? I'm trying to tell you, it's here. Stop looking for anything else. It's right here. If it was here for me, it's here for you. You just got to step up. Look at your neighbor and say, step up. We promoted 66 senior vice presidents, 8 platinum senior vice presidents, multiple million-dollar earners. And that's when I said, wow, what if I said no? All of those blessings would have been blocked. You getting this? All of that sounds great. All the material things sound great. But it's the things that you don't see that meant the most to me. You don't see it on the presentation. Retiring my wife, she hasn't worked in over 6.5 years. My mom was losing her home in the recession. That's what made me look for an opportunity, and that's why God gave me 5 links. And guess what? She's been retired for 6.5 years, and then she said, listen, I'm going to culinary school. I'm going to do what I love. How many people know Haitian women love to cook? She went to culinary school. She drew out her business plan. At 60 years old, graduates, and she's doing that part-time, but she keeps her little money. I still pay all the bills. I've been paying all her bills for 6.5 years. I bought her a condo. She don't live with me. Ladies, you know there's only room for 1 queen in the house. But we're playing catch up. A lot of us are like, okay, we're on the right path, and then something happens to a parent. That you didn't budget that. You didn't budget that. We're playing catch up. So we have the hardest, this generation in this room has the hardest position in our lineage. We got to fix the past and make sure that the future is all right simultaneously, all while helping ourselves. So we got to start thinking smarter. What did I do? I bought the condo, but it's in my daughter's trust fund. So when my mom, right, is done with it, guess who can go in? My daughter. What made that mentality possible? Being able to think. John Addison couldn't have said it best. When you have a calm core, you can think about the next generation, the following generation, the following generation. Are you getting this? But if you're running in the rat race, 75 years old will be here in a minute, and you won't have nothing to show for it. And what I love about this opportunity is that we don't have to sign up again. We're already in. We just got to relaunch. Look at your neighbor and say, you ready to relaunch? Let's talk about user error. If Lisa Nicole Cloud can have that success, if Tupac Derenoncourt can have that success, if Kurt and Tashina Anderson can have this success, if all the front row can have this success, why not you? Anybody ever use a computer and you get stuck, you just can't do something? And then somebody comes right behind you and does it? Was there something wrong with the computer? No. There was something wrong with. See, when I showed up to my first meeting in 5 Links, I showed up in my uniform, a Yankee baseball hat, jeans, a white collared shirt, and some white fresh Air Force Ones. I sat in the back of the room. My ego would not be able to fill this room. Are you getting this? And then I started getting some user error. My first PBR was at a nightclub. It turned into a party. Are you getting this? Thank God some of the people that missed the party contacted me back after I started using the system properly. Nobody at the party signed up. Everybody that missed the party and said, hey, how was the meeting? I brought them to the regular meeting. And they signed up. Some of us, guess what? We need to fix ourselves. The opportunity works. Stop going through that user error experience. 50% of it is fear of, what if I didn't take off the Yankee baseball hat? What if I didn't put on a suit? That's the problem. Are you getting this? Self-discovery, self-development. This is nothing but a compensation plan with your personal development. The better person you become, the more money you can make out of this deal. But we got to let go of who we used to be if you want a better bank account. Because what you've done all of your life till this moment, has your bank account where it is right now. Who's ready to grow? Who's ready to break through that fear? Who's ready to be a better person? Who's ready to grind? I was pre-qualified for this industry. Why? I had work ethic. If I had to eat, it was up to me. A lot of us, our problem is, guess what? If you had to eat based on what you did in 5 links, today is the running account balance day. What's on the table? I haven't missed a single Friday in 8 years getting paid Fridays in 5 links. Not one Friday has ever gone by. Not one in 8 years. I've always gotten paid. Who wants that type of income and this opportunity? You got to become an entrepreneur. Stop doing this thing spare time, part-time. You got to infuse yourself. You got to get laser focused for a minute to get your residual $1 above your monthly obligations. Are you getting this? You got to get to another level of work ethic. See, entrepreneurs are nothing other than some crazy people that would rather work 110 hours a week to potentially have the opportunity to have unlimited income versus 40 hours a week in a comfort zone and you already know what you're going to be making next week. Who wants to make more than what they know they're going to make next week? Look at your neighbor and say, you better work. Now you got to lead by example. Because if you're not working, guess who's not working? Your team. You got to lead from the front. You got to go through them dens and living rooms. Anybody ever remember the slogan, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? What if that was true? Would you be the healthiest person right now? I bet you nobody's eating an apple a day in here. Maybe Coach AJ, that's about it. Well, guess what a PBR a day does? A PBR a day keeps the bill collector away. What if that was true? Some of you guys would answer the 800 calls instead of sending it to voicemail. A PBR a day, 1 hour every day. If one person signs into your business every day, you're inevitably going to become a diamond senior vice president. The difference between wealthy individuals and everybody trying to get there is what we do with our time. Turn off the distractions. Take action. Stop sitting on your hands. When somebody signs up in this business, they're not an L number, they're a human being with dreams. Help them accomplish what you're trying to accomplish right now. Does everybody want their dreams to come true? So why do we act like, okay, we signed somebody up, it's a cab, it's an L number? No, it's somebody trying to change their life. And they put their life in your hands. And they deserve the support. The diamond should be holding the double platinums accountable. The double platinum should be holding the platinums accountable. The platinum should be holding the SVPs accountable. The SVP should be holding who accountable? The ND should be holding who accountable? The EDs should be holding who accountable? The ETs should be holding who accountable? It's that simple. If we follow the system, everybody could get to their what? Dreams. But you have to lead by example. You got to bring guests to the meeting. I don't care if you're an SVP. We're all leaders in this room. Everybody is watching you. When you go back home, they're watching you. And they're watching for you to slip, or they're watching you to rise to greatness. The most important person in your life is you. Look in the mirror. Peak 10 people a day, online and offline. Be the best person on your team. Is that okay? Number 5, opportunity is our number 1 product. Every day, somebody is turning 18, somebody's turning 21, somebody's getting their first job, somebody's getting their first pink slip, somebody's buying their first house, somebody's buying their first car, somebody's getting married, somebody's having kids, somebody's losing a job, somebody has to take on a parent, somebody's about to lose their home. Every day, there's countless opportunity. Are you seeing this? What's our number 1 product? We got the fix for it all. Get in. We got the fix for it all. Get involved. But don't just get involved. I guarantee you, and this is not an insult, we are all operating, everybody in this room, well, let's say 90% of this room. I don't want anyone to take offense to what I'm about to say. We're all operating at about 10% of our potential. Who knows they got room to go? Who knows they could go to another level? How many people understand there's level to levels? Who knows they have some wiggle room when it comes to their work ethic? See, if God wanted, if God wanted you to stand still, he'd give you roots instead of feet. We got to move towards our dreams. We got to get to 100. Look at your neighbor and say, get to 100. Learn from children. Learn from children. Our children are our what? Future. So when I found out I was having a girl, I said, you know what? We need to name her life. We need to give her life. This is a blessing. It wasn't like, I want her to have the best possible life. So I looked up the names that meant life. Her name is Zoe. Zoe means life. I want her to have the best life. Better than the life I had. Who wants that for their kids? Then I had my son. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we could find a name that means defender of life? Zoe means life. Xander also starts with a Z, means defender of life. His name was picked when my daughter was born. 5 years later, here he comes. God speaks to me. So understand this. Zoe, when she was growing up, she would never, ever stop. If she wanted something, let's do it again. Let's do it again. We were in the teacups in Disney World. I'm dizzy. I'm like, all right, that's enough. We're done. Ride is over. Daddy, I want to do it again. I'm like, wow. She never takes no for an answer. Can we learn from children? Xander. This kid is relentless. When he sees something, he goes, I want some of that. I want some of that. I remember going to my first national convention. I sat in the front row. I sat in the back row. I was an ET or ED. I was an ED. Sat in the middle, in the back somewhere. I was like, man, I want to get to the front row. And then they announced the new platinum being promoted. And then they opened the gates, the curtains, and there was a Bentley spinning around on the stage. I was like, but guess what? I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Congratulations to Sonny and King Penny. They were the first ones in Maryland to bring that Bentley home, baby. And all I can think of is I want to get that. I want to make that happen. And then when I had my kid, 8 years later, 6 years later, I'm doing my math wrong. Guess what? At that moment, I realized I had lost it. I should have been like, I want some of that. You getting this yet? Good. I'm almost done. I'm almost out of time. Y'all gonna have to bear with me. Push for what you want. Push for what you want, because guess what? The moment you stop, we all want our incomes to go up, yes? Everybody in the room, yes? Why would you stop and expect more? That's painful when your expectation is here and your work ethic is here. That's a painful place to be. We got to do more than what we expect, and we'll get more than we expected. Look at your neighbor and say, it's time to go. It's time to go now. Because the second, guess what happens? The second you stop pushing for what you want, everything that you don't want starts pushing to you. Some of you guys are experiencing that right now. Lord, please, I just want this card to go through for this hotel room. Become a superhero. Y'all are probably thinking, what are you talking about? Become a superhero is how I'm going to get what I want? See the opportunity in adversity. Yes, the storms are going to come. People will come and go. But if you're supposed to be here, guess what? You are in your seat. You know what I see? You know what I see in this whole room now? I see love. I don't see jealousy. I don't see hate. I see love. I see kindness. I see people hugging each other. I see people crying. I see people saying, thank you for not quitting. What makes a superhero? How can you be a superhero? A superhero isn't a superhero until they face a challenge. See, Superman, how did he become a superhero? Oh my God, something's falling down. It's about to hit somebody. He flies up. He catches it right before they get crushed. He puts it down slowly. And, Superman. And then who remembers Lex Luthor? Lex Luthor tricked him to touching kryptonite, and he lost his power, and he was drowning. He was about to die. He was this close to dying. He couldn't even take the chain off his neck. He was, Miss Kasbacher. And then Lex Luthor launched the missiles. It wasn't until Lex Luthor launched the missiles that Miss Kasbacher's Y kicked in, his assistant. She said, my mom lives in California. He's going to blow up California. Her why kicked in, and she jumps in and takes the chain off his neck. He was about to die, then he saved and became superhero again. Some of you guys, you hit a pin level. Guess what? You lose some customers, you lose some business partners. You fall down a level. Become a superhero and come back. Be a superhero. And guess what? It's not only happening to you, it's happening all the way up. All the different levels experience this. But if you've done it once, can you do it again? Stop celebrating when you hit positions. Keep going for what you want. And all I know is that it happened to our company. Our company went through some incredible challenges to the point of death. And guess what we got? A whole new 5 links. A whole new leadership team. And it's not until that happens that you become a superhero. It's not until that happens. That's the story that makes legends. You don't think the top 2 companies in our industry went through the same thing? Number 9, draw the line in the sand. We are at war. Where are my warriors? It's not a physical war. It's a spiritual war. The unseen wants to stop your blessing. Where are my prayer warriors? You got to draw the line in the sand. They want what you want. In that line in the sand, guess what? You have your family, you have your home, you have your cars, you have your children, you have your legacy. You have to defend your legacy. On the other side of the line is fear and things that are trying to come after all the things that you love. What are you going to do? You're going to go to what? You're going to go to what? We're not at war with anything else but poverty, ourselves, distraction, competition. You know how we win the war? Get off 0. Go to 100. Look at your neighbor and say, go to 100. Do you know the lifestyle of individuals that take their company to $1 billion? If the company goes to $1 billion, we're going to have multi-millionaires. Last I checked, everybody in this room wants to be a what? Multi-millionaire. So there's stadiums out there that we're going to fill. You are going to fill. And when the rafters get loaded up and we hit our $1 billion mark, we won't be making 7 figures a year. We're going to be making 7 figures a month. Everybody in this room right now. We coming for the #1 spot, baby. I want 7 figures to last every 30 days so that I can send my grandkids to pick up my platinum check of $6 million. I want your kids to go with mine. Protect the house. We are at war. To be #1, you gotta want it. You're gonna have to go hard. And you're gonna have to be like my baby boy. Play that video.
I want my dad.
Number 10. Number 10. Respect the blessing. Respect the fact that we're here today. We gonna be all right was there. That was great. You made it past that point. Then the next thing I said is, guess what? Anything is possible. The storm was thickening. I did my best to keep this ship afloat. Not for me. Not just for my family. If it would have went down, I was good. I got money. I got money. I could have paid my bills for at least 2-3 years. But then I started thinking about y'all. Thank you, God, for blessing me with much more than I deserve. Because I believe, because I appreciate the blessing of 5 links. Who's ready to go to the next level now? Who's fired up? Who's ready to go to war? Who's ready to stand up for everybody that's depending on you? Repeat after me. I want some of that. I want some of that. Say, I want some of that.